Well, you guys, we can get started. So, hi everyone. I'm Allison Sullivan with Stamp Crazy with Allison, and today I want to share a card made with the Harvest Meadow Suite Collection, which I love. Last week, do you remember last week I did a card? I think you did. I based it on the card that was in the um, actual mini. So let me just see something here. Can you guys see that? Can you see me and the card? Okay. So this was the card that I shared last week, and it was a cased card, meaning that I copied it from the concept artist presentation in the Mini Catalogue. Okay, so it's a great way if you're stuck, just copy a card, and then it sort of gets your juices going, right? Okay, so now I'm going to go just to my hands. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go over here. And this was last week's card, and we are still working with the fantastic, bring it in here, Harvest Meadow and Love. So this was the card that I based my card on. I changed it up a little bit, but not much. But gorgeous, right? And you can see the products that are included in the suite. I always love when Stampin' Up! Has a suite collection because they have a lot of things that coordinate together and sort of takes the guesswork out of it for you. Okay, so what's included in the suite? Well, we've got something missing. The DSP, the Harvest Meadow DSP. Now this comes 12 by 12. And there's 6 designs. I see I've only got 5 here. Must have used one up. So one side is kind of, well, it's got patterns, I guess you could say. And the other side is more muted, or like in this case, it's kind of designs on both sides, I suppose. This is my favorite one. The one that looks like it's all worn and got some words. I love that one. Okay, so there's 12 by 12. 12 by 12s. I've just cut it to 6 by 10 so you can see it. Okay, so that's in the suite. And then we've got the diamond weave ribbon, and there's 10 yards of this, so lots of ribbon. Love it. Very neutral, vintage. You could use it on a vintage design card. Then, I've well loved these brushed metallic adhesive back dots, so they're a little bit well loved. Then we have the time-worn 3D embossing folder, which is exactly or very similar to that DSP that I just showed you. So you've got the kind of weathered look with the words. Okay. And then we have Nature's Harvest stamp set and the Nature Harvest dies. And I just pulled them out of their die case because I'm going to be using them quite a lot this month. And so you can see, so some of them cut out the shapes. So this shape here is cut out with the coordinating die, right? Same with the echinacea here. But other images like these branches and these flowers and these sprigs and even this lone flower, they just cut out the shape. Okay, so there's that. And the reason that I'm going to be using them a lot this month is because this is a bundle and suite collection that Patsy Wagner, my border buddy in the US, and I are using for our free PDF this month. So when you make any size purchase, you receive the PDF for free. Hi, Sharon. It's also the suite that we're using for our class to go. So we call it the Border Buddy Ticket Knit Class to Go. And that includes 4 cards. You're going to get the materials for your card and the envelopes. And then you'll make the cards at home because you'll have a PDF with all the instructions and measurements and whatnot, but it'll all be pre-cut for you, okay? And then I also offer, if you purchase the bundle, stamps and dies, the class comes to you for free. I just send you the class for free, okay? Hi, Mary. All right, So let's get started on our card today. I'm going to start with, a card base. So this is Highland Heather, so the lighter of the two purples. I've already gone ahead and cut it at 5.5 by 8.5 and then scored it at 4 1/4 to make my card front. Okay. Then I've also got a second piece of cardstock cut to 4 by 5 1/4 because what I want to do is I want to actually mount this on here just to give it some dimension and interest. Okay, we're going to emboss this piece and I'll get to that in a sec. Then I've also got a piece of our cork paper. Now this is really fun paper. This is part of the suite. It's 12 by 12. You get 2 sheets, but it is actually cork. And I don't know if you can see all the, it's hard to tell, isn't it? It's like, it's got a shimmer at parts of it. It's really, really cool. Hi, Jennifer. So we're going to use that. And then I've got a piece of basic white for my image. I'm going to cut out some shapes out of the old olive, and then I'm going to cut a sentiment out of the crumb cake. Okay, so that's the bits. So let's start with embossing. Now I'm going to bring in my big one. And I think that's going to be too close. So I'm going to raise this up a bit. I'm hoping that you can see most of it here. Okay, so let's just move some stuff around here. Okay, I'll open that up. I'm going to just wait for my feet to catch up, you guys, so I can see how it looks. So, okay, so that's about as good as I can get it. So when you're doing embossing, you want to use the plate number 1, which is like the platform, right? That's the thick one. You want that. Okay. And then all you want is plate number 4. That's it. For these really thick 3D folders. So I'm just going to grab that. So here's my folder. I'm going to put my piece of Highland Heather in here. So I'll put that on the platform. And I'm going to put this on top. And then I'm going to run that through. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. So that's all done. Get that really great impression. Love that. Okay. Now I'm going to cut out a frame. And actually, what I'm going to do, guys, is it'll be a little bit easier if I bring in my smaller one. I don't think you mind if I just clear this one out. I find this is a bit big to have on camera and a bit big for you guys to see what I'm actually doing. So let me just grab the little guy. I'll go right back. Just put this over here. Okay, that's better. Here's our little guy. All right. So what I want to do is I'm going to be using the rectangular stitched framelit dies, rectangle stitched. You guys seen these? Let me show you. I'm going to be using these too. But look at all the ones that you get. There's just tons in here. Look at all these. All different sizes. And what I love is that they cut out and apply a embossed stitched around the edge. Just so cool. All in one pass through. Love that. Hi, Nancy. You don't put the seam first. I do and I don't. It's funny because a lot of people say to put the seam first, but I think on the plate, let me see, just one second. Okay. There on one of the plates, I can't remember which. I don't think it's on this one. It's on one of the other plates. It says to put the hinge first. So, or to put the other way first. I've never had a problem. I know that some people stick to a rule. I don't. I've never had anything go wrong or anything happen. So you want to put the hinge first. Go ahead. Maybe it's on here that it says it. Just a sec here. Let's see what it says here. Insert embossing folders hinge first. So that's what you mean by the seam, right? And yet, when Sarah Douglas, the CEO of Stampin' Up, does it, she says to put in the hinge after, because then it doesn't kind of crush the hinge. So I don't know what the rule is. I just kind of go with it. So I need a plate and a clear plate. And then I'm going to grab my cork, speak. And what I want to do is I want to lay down one of my pieces, just like that. But I want to create a frame, okay? So I've gone down, not to the next size, but to the next size. Does that make sense? So 2 sizes smaller than the original one. And then I want to use my repositionable tape just so they don't move, okay? So I'm going to do that. You know how you guys, I always say, oh, I never have a problem putting this in. Or the other day, I just would not grab it. I don't know. It was having obviously it was on strike or something. Don't know why, but it never fails me. And look, there again, never fails me. Oh, thanks for sharing, Nancy. Okay, so there we go. And then when we take this out, you guys, you'll see that it's cut through. Okay, my little repositionable there. And it's made a little frame. Okay, so you can use, I'm going to be using the frame, but then you've also got the inside piece that you want to keep. You don't want to just, so you've got the actual other piece inside. You don't want to toss that. Okay. All right. And then this is your outside piece. Okay. So now I've got my frame and I've got my embossed piece. Okay. So those are 2 pieces that I want. Okay. I also want to cut in some other stuff, but what I'm going to do first is stamp our focal point because that's important. So let's put this aside for a sec. I do love the little one because I can move it back and forth in and out of the frame so easily. And I'm going to lower this because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so hopefully that's good. So I'm going to grab a piece of just basic white. And I call it echinacea. Sometimes people, they're not really Shasta daisies, they are echinacea. That's just what I call it. I don't know what, coneflower. That's another name for it, I think. Okay, so I'm going to use my Memento ink. And this is the only time that I rub ink onto a stamp because you don't want to do it with your other ones because this is a felt and it won't rip or anything, whereas your foam ones will rip. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp this. Okay, there we go. Love. You just love this. This would be really nice if it's stamped in like a dark gray or light gray, wouldn't it? So pretty, or blue. Thanks for sharing, Sharon. Oh, it's hard to say. Thanks for sharing, Sharon. Remember, when you share my my video and you type in shared in the comments, and I draw for a winner and I read up the card. Okay, so I'm going to be using my blends. So I want to put a piece of paper under, right, to protect. So I am going with purples because echinacea can be purples. Black-eyed Susans are usually the yellow with the dark brown centers or black centers. So I've got dark Highland Heather and light Highland Heather, but I've also got a light Blackberry Bliss. So those are kind of the 3 colors I thought would be nice for that. I've just got dark Daffodil for the centers, and I'm using light and dark Old Olive for the leaves. And then I've got Smoky Slate just to add some definition, and I'll show you that. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is start with my bullet end of my light, make sure I've got going here, light Highland Heather. Okay. If you don't like to color, there are lots of options for not doing that. In fact, a couple of the cards in our card class this month for this Suite don't require coloring, so you might like that, but it still looks gorgeous. Okay, so I'm just coloring all kind of light, and then same with this half opened one. Okay, now you notice I'm not going right to the end. You don't have to. And then I'm going to take some dark colored heather, and I'm just going to cut it around the center here. I was over in North Vancouver today, and it was such a beautiful day. And I stopped at a mall that I go to when I'm over on that side of the river, or the inlet in this case. And they were growing coneflowers or echinacea at the parking lot. I took a picture, so I'll post it along with my card. So it's sort of an inspiration. So you see what I'm doing? I'm just drawing down that dark to the tips, okay? So once this dries, that's another thing. When you're using blends, when they dry, you guys, they kind of lighten up. So don't be concerned if you think, oh my gosh, I can't see the blending. You'll be able to. This one, it doesn't matter if you go over because I'm going to be cutting it out. So it's all good. Okay. Who's joined us? Sharon. Hi, Sharon. Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Oh my gosh. Thanks for popping in. To get your mom to pop in. Okay, and then I'm going to use, oh, that was not helpful. Sometimes this happens, and if it does, don't freak out because it's just the lid. So just have to pull it differently. There we go. Okay, so if this pulls out, just put it back in and then just kind of squeeze on the lid and pull and you'll be okay. All right, so this is light blackberry bliss. Of course, if it happens more than once and you're not happy, Stampin' Up! Replaces everything. If there's a defect, we'd be happy to replace it within 90 days. So make sure I always like to tell my customers, check out all your stuff when you get it. Don't leave it in a box for 4 months because then it's a little bit harder if you discover that there's something wrong. Okay. All right. So that's that. I'm just going to be really kind of lazy. I'm not going to try and do any kind of shading. I'm just coloring these centers with dark daffodil. Not worrying about it too much. Okay. Then next we're going to do our leaves and stems. So I'm going to start with the light. Who else likes coloring? Anybody? Anybody like coloring? I love coloring. Remember a couple weeks ago I colored those sheep with watercolor pencils. I only have the assortment number 1. So as soon as I started coloring again, I ordered the assortment number 2. Because I want more colors for my watercoloring. Okay, so you can see, guys, I'm just coloring this with the light all over, not being too particular. Okay, so just that one. But now I want to add some shading, so I'm going to go in with the dark one. Easy for me, Stampin' Up! Has created these veins. So how easy is this? I just have to go over the veins. I don't even have to think about it. Going to add as I go along here. Okay. And then you always want to go back in and blend. So back to the light and just go over it. And like I said, don't worry, this will lighten up. Okay. So I don't think, oh no, I've covered all that up. Nope. Alcoholics don't do that. They just blend colors. They don't, one does not obliterate the other. Okay. All right. So that will lighten up. That's good. And then remember I was telling you a little earlier, my daughter showed me this trick. So this is light smoky slate. I'm going to raise this up and let the camera kind of focus here. Let's see if it's focused. Ooh, a little bit. If I can hold my hand straight, which I probably can't. But you see here where this leaf crosses over? So it's underneath this leaf and underneath this stem. So where it crosses over, add a little bit of just like a line. Just a line of a different color, like even crumb cake or smoky slate. So where they kind of cross over. Yeah, so here and here and here. And you just get, can't really see it on camera, but trust me, you get a really cool definition. Almost looks like where the sun is, where it's in the dark. Does that make sense? Hi, Janet. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so that's our coneflower, echinacea flower, however we want to call it. Okay, so now, good news, we can cut this out and we don't have to fussy cut it. Yay. We've got our die. So I'm going to use the die to cut out my flower. And I'm also going to use these sprigs. Okay, I'm going to cut something out from the sprigs. All right. So we need our, first of all, what I'm going to do is actually lay this on. And I always like to, because I'm on camera, I don't want to make a mistake because I'm not sort of standing over my machine. So it can be a little bit off. And I don't want that to happen when I'm on camera and then have to start my card again. That would be, oh my goodness, I'd have to say, okay, everybody, talk amongst yourselves while I cut it out again. All right, I don't want to do that. Okay, so we're going to raise them up with that. Hi, Carol. Welcome. All right, we've got our plates and we've got our flour. Oop, we moved. I probably was too worried that I was going to stick my tape down too hard, which is impossible because it's a removable tape. It's kind of hard to do that. I've been having so much fun using this suite of products. So if those of you who came late, Patsy and I, this is our PDF of the month. So when you make any size purchase in our store, you receive a PDF with 6 cards that you can make at home. And we also have a class. So this is our class this month, and it is a PDF with 4 cards. We send you the envelopes with all the guts that you need for those 4 cards. All you have to do, and we would also cut out and emboss anything that's not included in the bundle. So the bundle is that Nature's Harvest bundle, right? So if it's not included in that, we cut it out. Otherwise, we assume you've got the bundle because you want to make the cards, and we give you the paper and you cut it out. If you purchase the bundle, then I give you the class for free. And when you purchase the bundle, it's enough that you earn a free celebration, woohoo, which is even better, right? Okay, so now I've just got my old olive from before, remember? And this, I call this a sprig. It's almost like wheat, isn't it? I don't know. It's sort of like wheat. Is it wheat? Share. I need to ask Sarah, who's from Saskatchewan. Is this wheat? Hi, Candy. Oh my gosh, nice to see you here. And Christina, what purple did I use? I used Highland Heather. Highland Heather. Okay, so here we go. This is really delicate. I find this image extremely delicate. I've cut it out a few times from the cork, and it works. But you have to be really, really careful. Whereas if you cut it out of the cardstock, it's a bit more substantial, right? So I'm going to put my wheat aside. Still waiting to see from Sarah if it actually is wheat. I think it is. Okay, now what? Oh, I'm going to stamp a word. So I'm going to stamp thank you because I use thank you cards all the time. Hi, Kim. I use them like, I guess Christmas is a biggie, obviously birthdays, but thank yous. In my business, because I send out a thank you card to people who make an order, right? So I'm always stamping thank yous. And I love this font. Isn't it gorgeous? So I stamped that, you guys, in Gorgeous Grape. I wanted to go that one shade darker, okay? All right, so let's cut this out because this fantastic set of dies has a large label and a small label. So this one's good, a little label. And I'm going to grab our machine and cut that out. Okay. Okay, thanks for hanging with me, guys, while I learn my new system. That's my lessons I'm teaching myself this month. Now, next month, I'm going to expand and simultaneously, I hope, broadcast to you guys here on my page, my Facebook page, and also to my YouTube channel. I've had a YouTube channel for about, 10 years. And I'm going to do it over there too. So I'll be live over there. If you prefer to watch on YouTube, you can. It does look very much like wheat. Okay, so Sarah says it's very much like wheat. We're going to, but it sort of isn't, is it? It sort of is and it sort of isn't. Okay, so isn't that great? Now this die, can you see, you guys, that it cuts it out, but it also has this very subtle raised, like it's raised up. It's hard to show on camera. So it just adds a little bit more dimension. Anytime you can add dimension just by, different embossing on a piece of cardstock is easy, right? So let's put all of this away. That's the last bit of cutting or embossing that I'm going to have to do. So here's all my bits. So remember, here's my flour, my thank you, my wheat, and I've cut out my cork frame. I've embossed a piece of Highland Heather, and I've got my card base, which is also Highland Heather. So let's get building our card. We have got my glue. My favorite glue is the white glue. I'm sure it's not called white glue. It's called Tombow Multi Mono Liquid Glue. Okay, I like it. Thin layer. I like it because I can move it around if I make a mistake. So that suits me because I make mistakes. I've got my frame that I cut out earlier from my nested rectangle dies. And I'm going to put on some Stampin' Dimensionals in the corner. But I also kind of want there. Now I could go grab the foam strips that we have, but I'm going to just cut the edges of my dimensionals because these are like a little frame that goes around it. I know you all know this, but in case some of you don't, it's really cool because you can have these longer strips. Okay. All right. Okay. Yep. And here we go. And then you can even, what I might do on this one, oh, I've got a little strip here I can use. Okay, I'm just going to put that down there. All right. I could have just done the four corners, but it would have been a little bit flopsy in the middle. Droopy. Nobody likes a droopy middle. Okay. Woo, stuck to my nail. All right, I think that's it. Did I get them all off? I think so. Yeah. Then I'm going to take my little frame and I'm going to just place it at an angle here. Again, just gives a little bit more dimension and maybe unexpected, right? Because you'd think I'd do it like that because normally I would because I'm kind of linear that way. All right, here's our wheat or whatever it is. I'm just going to, again, use my white glue. I'm just going to add it to the flowers. Remember, if you share my video, put your name in a draw and you can win this card. So if you share and then type in shared, you could be the lucky winner. Okay. Here's our wheat. And I don't care if it's longer than my frame. In fact, I'm intentionally making it longer. So it's just really going to glue to the frame, right? A little bit of glue up here because, okay, there. That's about the fussiest part of making this card, okay? And then I've got my echinacea coneflower. I want to dimensionalize that too. I want to pop that up. Patsy would be so proud of me. We were at a conference this week or last weekend, I guess, a virtual workshop through Stampin' Up. And the number one accessories are the ones that I've been using today, which are my glue and dimensionals. I can't remember. I have to look it up again. How many units they sold last year? It was crazy. I swear that Patsy keeps them in dimensionals. Okay. I think I kind of do too. All right. There we go. That should do. Because I'm not quite sure where this is going to hit on the card, meaning where the dimensionals are going to hit once I place it on here, right? So I think I'll do it like that. What do you think? Yeah? Just kind of let it like that. What do you think so far? Isn't that pretty? I love this card. Okay. Then I want to have my thank you. And I can just use glue. I'm just going to run glue along here because I could have popped it up, but I think that's just a bit too much popping up. Is that a word? I'm actually going to put my thank you so it's straight. There. So everything else is at an angle, but that's straight. And then lastly, how about if we add some, look at my poor linen thread. I don't know what happened. It's like a dental floss that went nuts. I don't know. But I'm going to fold it in half. I want to like a big double bow. I don't want it to just be a little single bow. I want it to have a little bit more substantial dimension in it. So I'm just going to do that. So can you see that I've got like a double loopy here? And that's fine. I'm just going to leave that. But then I'm going to cut this loop so that it's okay. And then the best way to adhere this is with a glue dot. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite people in the whole world just joined us. Hi, Connie. My sisters watch, Ellie and Mo. But Connie is our sister from Minnesota. We just love her. Hi, Connie. I'm so glad you popped in. Okay, just for the end of my little video here. Here we go. So what do we think? Now, I was thinking after I made the original card, I could have added some of these pearl embellishments. So I don't know if you can see. Probably should have it on white, right? But I got rid of the original container. So let's see. Can we see that? That's a bit better. So we've got kind of pinks and like almost like a heather, and then silver, and then a really deep purple. Now I could add some to this, but I'm always of the mind, should you stop? Stop or go, stop or go. So you guys tell me, should I add some of these pearls or just leave it? Oh, Ellie's saying hi, Connie. So hopefully you saw that. Yeah, she is one of, as soon as we go to an event in person, her and her sister Susan are two people we seek out immediately. We're like little homing pigeons looking for them because we just love them to death. I cannot find add. Nancy says add. Okay. Nancy's the only one, so I'm adding. I'm going to take one of the light ones up here. And then how about we put a dark one up there too. And then maybe bring in a silvery one down here. What do we think? Okay. So that's the card with the pearls. And here was the card that I made yesterday without the pearls. So I like them both. I don't know whether there's a right or a wrong here. I'm going to move that down so you can see. What do we think? They're both nice, I think. Oh, yeah, you like the pearls, Janet? Okay, and thank you for sharing. And Janet is a purple person. Janet loves purple. So this is a card perfect for you, Janet. I have another friend, Rhonda, and her and Janet just love purple. I love purple too. I think a lot of women like purple, right? Okay, so here I am back. Ooh, with my hair all goofy. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Christine. You like the pearls too, Connie? Okay, thank you. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. So don't remember, let me recap because there's a lot that I tell you. The stamp set that we use today is part of the Harvest Meadow. Oh gosh, the Harvest Meadow Nature's Meadow, Harvest Meadow Suite Collection. And it's in the July to December mini catalog. And it's a fabulous collection. If you rewatch my video when it's over, you'll see I showed you all the pieces that are part of that collection. So Patsy Wagner, my border buddy, and I are using these products in our free PDF this month. So when a customer makes any size purchase in our stores, they receive a PDF with 6 cards, instructions for 6 cards. And it's also my take and make class. So a class that you order and then you can take it and make it at home, and I send you all the bits. If you purchase the bundle, you get that class for free. And if you don't live in Canada, because I can only send the class to Canadians, but if you don't live here, I also have a PDF option it's $12 Canadian, so it's about $9 American, I think. You can purchase that and then just have all the measurements to make the cards. Okay. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will get this up on our site here. You can rewatch it, and then I'll add details about where to register for the class. Okay. So thanks so much, you guys. I will see you on Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on my Facebook page. Bye for now, you guys. Thanks for coming.